Dear students, welcome back. Today we will be continuing with the application of MIS in service sectors. In the previous class we discussed about application of MIS in manufacturing sector with respect to financial management and other the managements like in marketing as well as in HR. So today we shall discuss about its application in services. First we shall try to understand what is the service sector and concept of service. Service is identifiable intangible activity or a process designed to fulfill certain expectations of customer or consumer. Here we have a definition by Kotler, Philip Kotler. He says services as service is an activity or a benefit that one part can offer to another which is essentially intangible and does not result in ownership of anything. That is, its production may not be tied to physical products. So it is where as we all know, it is intangible in nature, where any ownership cannot be claimed here. So that is the difference between manufacturing and services, where a physical product does not exist, and for any services we cannot claim the ownership. So service is an activity or a benefit that one part can offer to another which is essentially intangible, so that does not result in the ownership of anything. So this is a very meaningful definition. Now let us try to understand the characteristics or attributes of service. So the first word here we used as is the intangibility. So that is, services lack physical existence, that is, they can be delivered or received by customers, and also it is inseparability of receiver and provider. So the where we cannot separate a receiver and a service provider. Receiver and provider must present, and service process cannot be executed unless both are present at time of service delivery. So but it is not so in case of the products are in manufacturing. And with respect to storage, services cannot be stored like goods, and the important attribute is inconsistency. That is, incidents of services may vary according to customer process and it cannot be standardized. Now let us understand what is a service sector. A service sector, also known as the tertiary sector, is the third tier in the three sector economy. So that is, instead of product production, this sector produces services, maintenance and repairs, training or consulting. So examples of service sector jobs include housekeeping, tours, nursing and teaching. Now let us understand the different types of service sector. These include IT and ITES. IT enabled services like tourism and hospitality services, medical value travel, then transport and logistics services, accounting and finance services, then audio visual services, legal services, communication services, construction and related engineering services, environmental services, financial services and education. The role of service sector includes which provides finance, marketing and transport, insurance for the development of agricultural sector. The expansion of service sector activities boosts the secondary sector activities like as well. So that is which also helps the manufacturing sector. Service sector can play a major role in reducing inequalities in the distribution of income in the economy. So today if we take up the GDP of the nation, the more contribution towards GDP is through the services sector. Now let us understand the role of service sector. There are 13 different types of service sectors in India, such as trade, tourism has always just now we had gone through, like hotels, restaurants, shipping, port services, storage services, telecom and related services, real estate services, IT services, accounting and auditing services, research and development, legal services, consultancy, construction, like that. Where service sector does not have physical goods to be manufactured for the customer, and here the MIS found in manufacturing and selling organization will not be suitable in the service sector. So the MIS application what we see in the production sector will not be suitable here in the service sector, and service industry requires data processing applications such as payroll, accounting and inventory, and the main goal of service sector is to provide satisfactory service to the customer. Here again we can also discuss about the service sector, that is service process cycle, where it starts with the initiation of a service and transition of that, that is the transaction, and again we can have a pre-service also. Then to know or to test we can conduct pre-service, then exactly we can implement that as services, and the post-service operations. So this service cycle, service process cycle includes the three different stages like pre-services, then the actual service, then post-service. All operations in these three stages is very important. And suppose if you take the first stage, that is initiation stage, here the process or steps like inquiry, information seeking, checking and assessing will be offering, and the actual process, say for example if we take passenger service, that is again seeking information on flights, fares, services, timing, facilities, and in educational institutes, that is again that we look for some information through websites and advertisements like that. And the second stage transition includes once we seek the information about flights or fare or services, then issue of ticket and instructions about check-in of baggage or pre-boarding services, that will be done. So once you book the ticket, then all these kinds of services you will be getting, and pre-service will be like ticket inspection at counter, then issue of boarding pass, movement guidance for security check, like that. Then the actual service includes finding a seat, providing in-flight assistance and services, and post-service includes baggage arrival and reclaiming, exit guidance, and the next flight information, transport assistance, like that. So like this, all these stages so can be included and offered in a service, so irrespective of the domain. And service sector, also known as the tertiary sector, is the third tier in three sector economy instead of the product production. Here it produces the services and maintains and repairs, training and consulting, like the jobs includes, so already we had discussed. Now coming to an important concept here, that is distinctive service. So this distinctive service means it is a creation of distinctive service is a willful management act. To manage service effectively, it is important to understand the distinctive characteristic of service between product and the service. So that is the customer expectation and the perception. So that kind of service we call as distinctive service, so which falls in between the product and the service. So before we proceed, let us try to understand the 5 principles of distinctive service. The first principle is, first we have to listen, understand and respond to the customers, then define a superior service and establish a service strategy, then based on that you set standards and measure the performance, then select, train and empower the service employees to work for the customers, and recognize and reward the accomplishments. So these are the 5 different principles, and to know about the distinct distinctive service. So let us try to understand the difference between the service and product. A product is tangible, but service is not. A product consumes shelf space, life, and which will have a shelf life and as physical unit of measurement. And the product can be offered on payment, while services are offered on demand. Quality control of product can be done with standards, while quality control of service is difficult due to its reference to customer expectations, which are difficult to judge and control. And product demonstration can be done before sale, while service cannot be demonstrated. The product can be produced, sold, and documented in stages, while the service has to be produced, sold, and consumed simultaneously. The receiver and the service provider are very close to each other, and service expectations are dynamic and not static. It is about service process, outcome, satisfaction related to both. So this is how we are going to distinguish between a product and service. So this is called as distinctive service. So where we are trying to create a service which is willful in nature, and it helps to manage service effectively, which is important to understand the distinctive characteristics of service between product and service. So these points will help us to differentiate a product and a service. So as already said, it is willful in nature, so that is a major difference. Here we have a few links which helps us to know the application of MIS in HR, as well as in, that is, in personnel management, how today we are making use of MIS. So this is about the operations of MIS in service sector. Now let us understand the customer expectation and perception in service sector. Say for example, if you take a medical service, like the purpose may be some annual health checkups or regular health checkups, or maybe with respect to normal treatment, or sometimes no, it may be related to emergency, then hospitalization, then treating a old patient or child patient care, like that. So these are the distinctive services we can see in a medical service. And the expectations, if we have to look here at each purpose is, say for example, you take annual health checkup, the expectation would be like a quick service and total coverage at a single location with proper guidance and advice. And perception will be depends on the socio-economic status. Then the normal treatment, again a proper guidance and very less waiting time. So that is a service that need to be offered. And during emergencies, immediate attention, then necessary resources and services as immediately available. And during hospitalization, clean and quiet surroundings, pleasant stay, and fast recovery. So these are like this for each kind of service sector. We can quote different types of services, like maybe for a banking system, or tourism, or for a nurse service, or for an teaching institute, like that. Now let us understand the application of service sectors. So the applications of that we see in airlines, the perception is with respect to schedule, convenience, price, seat comfort, meal quality, treatment by staff, facilities provided at airport, assistance in travel arrangement, pre-post travel period, like that. And necessary passenger information on aviation industry, then hotel, like that. We can cover different kinds of services here. in banking, then insurance, where we look for a customer service. So with respect to this, customer service has to be designed and service management system has to be offered. And again, customized MIS can be developed for customer service design, so that is for promotion, product, price, place, like that, for that. And service management system, which includes, say for example, you take aviation or nurse service, or in a hotel, so which includes initiation of service, transition of service, pre-consumption service, consumption service, like that. So means all these different types of roles what we had discussed so far, no, so that can be applied in these different stages. That is initiation, if we understand its process, service process, no, as the initiation stage, then transition, then pre-service, service and post-service, we can accommodate all kinds of different services here. So this is about the role of MIS in service sector. And to conclude the topic, the application of MIS in both manufacturing and service sector, we can mention as the application with respect to the both manufacturing and services include TPS system, that is transaction processing, which is a base for application of MIS in various sectors. Due to online transaction processing system, huge data in DBMS has to be showed. And in a financial MIS, which provides financial information for managers to make daily decisions on operations within the organization, and most systems provide these functions. And in marketing, it includes the support activities throughout, that is through different activities of marketing departments. And the service sector does not have a physical good, as we understood, and service industry requires data processing applications such as payroll, accounting and inventory, and MIS applications are there in every sector as airlines, hotels, hospitals, banking and insurance. And customer service design plays a crucial role in customer satisfaction, and it is which is strategic in nature. When service process design is finalized, then it is launched and implemented. So where we will be making use of all different 5 stages of services.